Hello, and welcome to my Mega Man Maker level. I named it Fireliquid Plumbing Plunge, and you'll see why in just a second. I chose just basic Mega Man with the basic gun, and start off right away. The player cannot move to the left, so they only have one choice to go to the right, where they are met with their first enemy. So they learn, oh, they'll shoot at me. Then they see these blinky things and have to go towards them. So, ooh, shiny. Then they can't get up. Meaning they have to learn how to jump. From there, they encounter the next enemy again. And then they encounter a new enemy, which is similar, but this one doesn't shoot. Then they figure out, oh, I have to hit it when the little blue part comes out. Then they continue going on. More enemies. They get the blinky thingies, which they see now returns their health because probably got hit like I did. Then immediately get a checkpoint. See this thing. Beeps at them. Can't go through it. Well, the only other way to go is over here. But you can't get through. So after they press around a few buttons, they figure out, oh, I can slide. So now they know how to slide. They keep moving on. And they see this red drippy stuff. Oh, that hurts. Probably shouldn't touch it again. They see this fire. It's not really in the way of them, but they see now, oh, there could be fire pillars. For a second there we saw a spiky thing, but now it's gone. So the player probably would assume spinny spikes are not a good thing. They see, well, they can't go to the right anymore, but they get this fun power up. So then they continue back and go up. Find the enemies. Oh, they will fall like I did. Then they're introduced to this new enemy that doesn't really pose a threat, but it's just something they have to keep an eye on. And they can risk it for this power up. This saw does a lot of damage. If they want to. If they need a lot of health back. Then they move on. So earlier over here, player has no risk for failing or falling. But now they're introduced to an area where if they do fall, they will die. All these enemies now are getting layered up for a bit more challenge. There's the fire pillars again, which aren't really an issue for the player, but it's just to keep them in mind for later. New enemies introduced. And then they keep going. And there's another checkpoint, as they just went through a bunch of platforming and don't have to redo that. Then say, huh, what's that? That looks important. And it's the only other way they can go. So they go to get it carefully, jump in and not fall down, or hit the fire above, where this is the first time the fire actually poses a threat. Then they can't go any further right, and they have this key thing, and oh, they probably think back, there's that weird blue wall on the ground in the way. So now they're like, oh, let's go back. And just gotta make it back through without falling. If they do fall, they don't have to, start all the way over. They can just get the key right again. Bleeding out the enemies. Oh, and a saw, which I didn't see. Apparently, some health back, but showing to go down here because, ooh, fun health, go get it. Fall down to the plunge part, whee! And then automatically touch checkpoint, can't miss it at all. So the player can't go back. Now they've seen the acid dripping and it wasn't really in the way, but they had time to get used to that thing where you have time. Now they actually have to incorporate that skill. And boom. Then they've seen the saw, so they don't touch that. And they've seen the acid and the fire pillars before, so now they're all incorporated together. Ooh, new enemy. Another fire thing. It'll be important for later. So let's just time this area correctly, which I failed at. Keep going. Oh, that's unfortunate. But that's what the checkpoint is for. Again, watch out for fire. Going. Well, this seems to be going slow, right? Oh, there's a boss door. Which the player may not know that, but oh, a door. There's a tile change and a background change to signify, oh, this area is going to be different. This is something we haven't seen yet. There's 2 fun little power-ups. One gives you back health back. Another checkpoint, so players probably gonna assume there's something difficult to the next side, which they'd be correct. It's the boss. Now, for this level, I chose the fireman. I forget if that's actually what it's called, or if it's heat man. I think it says it again at the level. But the fire pillars in the level were done to show the player that the boss will have a similar attack, and the orange flying enemies that dropped fire on top of the player's head were put there to emulate the fireballs the boss shoots. I decided for the boss room to have it be relatively flat, as it allows the boss to make the big fire pillar attacks, because when he's up there, he doesn't, so he can jump around and not get stuck on things. But I did decide to include one platform to jump onto so that the player has a way to escape the long range fire attacks. And yeah, they have to beat the boss from there. Which I died to because I was explaining, but here we go. So learn through fighting that the best way to attack is wait for an opening and use the charge shot to get the most damage without having to get up close, as you have to avoid many fireballs. And sliding around the room helps escape as well. I'm not doing a good job of demonstrating that, but that's what the player should. Also, the importance of jump attacking, which the player would have learned from the yellow hat enemies. And if they're struggling as much as I am, they do have these, which they can find to refill their health. And then continue to go. yeah, I finally beat him that time. Yeah, once player does that, level ends as does typically. And that's my level.